All right, what's good, everybody? Me and the homie Nate are working on the fly, getting back from playing at TPC Champions Course, where I played absolutely horrible. Lost my irons again, but the homie Nate is still balling. If he can knock in a couple putts, man, he'll definitely be playing under par. But again, guys, welcome back to Golf and Gospel Power. We break down everything from the PGA, Live Golf, LPGA, and again, even if I want to shout out my homies from the Epson Tour, we talk about them as well, dog. Please, again, guys, like, subscribe, share, and follow us on Spotify, and also, bro, rate the show. Be honest with us. Tell us if we're trash. Tell us if we're doing great. Help us improve or help us to stay along what we're doing. But we do have a special guest for you guys to help us break down the U.S. Women's Open, so please stay tuned for that. Let's break down the first news in women's golf. The LPGA Legends Tour two-time major winner Christie Kerr, who I had the privilege of being in the same group with her, caddying for Nicola Rupp about 3 weeks ago at TBC Champions Course. She just won, got back in the winner's circle at the LPGA's Legend event in Utah. She did have a strong showing at TPC Scottsdale, finishing at a T10. So good for her to go out there to Utah, get back in the winner's circle. Also, rookie alert here for the LPGA. Uh, was it Chisado Iway? How do you pronounce it, Nate? I know we
I don't know. I try to say it, but no offense to her. Yeah,
no offense at all, because
Chisato
she's well,
Uwe.
first off, definitely no offense to her because she won by 6 strokes, which tied the
Yeah, she
largest
killed.
margin in LPGA this year. I believe it's Chisado Iway. And for all
Okay.
the LPGA listeners that respect and rock with Golf and Gospel, correct us in the comments if we're wrong, man. But good for a rookie to get out there, win. Fun fact, she is a twin, but she definitely made it look
Oh,
easy out there. Yeah, she's a twin, just like you, dog. You and her.
yeah, I'm a twin. Yeah, just like me.
There we go. But again,
Let's
like I said,
go.
which ties the largest margin of victory this season. And that's our information with women's golf. There was no Epson Tour event. A lot of those Epson Tour women are getting ready to play in the Women's U.S. Open. Um, but um, before we get into our special guest, man, I do want us to recap the Charles Schwab. So, Nate, Ben Griffin gets a solo victory away from Andrew Novak. How do you
hmm
feel about Ben Griffin going out there getting a victory? I think winning by 1 or 2 strokes.
Yeah, he was up by like five.
Mm-hmm.
There were some dudes chasing like Fleetwood who ended up
Mm-hmm.
shooting 68, I think.
Yep.
But he played really solid golf. And just hung in there. I feel like the score definitely got to him because he was,
Uh,
what did he finish at? Like minus 13 or
I think,
14?
yeah, I thought it was either 12 or 13.
Oh, okay, yeah, but he
Yeah.
was way ahead at one point. But
Uh-huh.
it's just how do you do in those moments when you're way ahead? I feel like is a defining moment or
Yeah.
characteristic for who you are as a golfer.
Yeah. I agree. And obviously, I didn't have that in me today. I was up 1 stroke against the homie Denzel Burke, and I folded on hole 18 at TPC Scottsdale, man. But at some point, I'm going to figure it out. Um, it was good to see Ben get one. I think obviously, Ben Griffin definitely watches Golf and Gospel Pod. He saw us bragging about Andrew Novak getting his first
Yeah,
victory, and Ben's like, I was a part of that too, right? I
yeah.
played.
They were
Um,
showing the pictures of him at Golf Channel or like
yeah.
earlier today.
I
Yeah,
think I think too though, because that was Novak's first victory. Like Ben Griffin had a victory on the PGA, so they probably want to just showcase Novak a little bit because he got his first victory. But it was amazing to see Ben go out there and and dominate the field, man. And it's crazy too. I think we talked about this at one point. Back in 2021, he actually was done with golf and he worked as a loan officer for a mortgage group in North Carolina.
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so to come back, go through the Corn Ferry and all those things, which is super tough,
Yeah,
and come out here and get a PGA victory is just it's really crazy.
yeah, good. Yeah, good for him. But yeah, especially one without an asterisk, because like the
Mm,
Novak one, they
yeah,
were. It's like who really carried the team there. But
yeah. I think they both did some good things. I know Novak's
Mhm.
chipping was incredible at the Zurich. Um, I just want to talk about some of the sleepers we picked, man. One guy we didn't pick, and rightfully so, respectfully, Rickie Fowler. He actually
Who-
showed up this
who-
tournament.
yeah, he was making it interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
He was at third at one point. I think he kinda, fell off from there, but I just know, they mentioned that Rickie Fowler was 117 in putting, but this week, at least
Dang.
from Thursday to Saturday, he was 6th in the field. I think that played a huge part of his
Yeah.
surgence, kinda showing his name back at the top of the leaderboard. Didn't really do him fair Sunday, though, but, I think that shows a lot of promise for Rickie Fowler. Maybe he can make some noise, in some of these future tournaments.
Dang, he ended up getting 16th, but I don't
Yeah.
know how I don't know how aggressive he was playing towards the end, which that could play a role. But if the
I would,
putts are falling,
yeah,
that helps your confidence a lot.
yeah, and I would hope he was playing aggressive. Like, I mean, it's funny to say because he's not that far off his win back in Detroit, I believe 2, 3 years ago. But
Yeah, 2 years ago.
yeah, like his rankings are dropping, so I would hope he would try to play
Yeah.
aggressive to get back in the winning circle. And then obviously a lot of these tournaments you win, you get exemptions for future tournaments and signature events. So it'd be hard for me to say that he didn't try to finish strong there. What
Hmm.
about your thoughts on Tommy Fleetwood, man? I keep hoping this guy gets close to getting a victory, which he does, but never able to really close it.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in his head. Like, and I'm sure if he could figure it out, he would be winning and stuff like that,
Right.
But like, I feel like anytime he makes a surge or gets close to
Mhm.
leading, that's when he starts to fall back.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
can't maintain those string of holes. Like Scotty will just go birdie, 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 or like Rory even at the Masters just be like
Mhm.
5 birdies on the back nine. It's like
Yeah.
Fleetwood can kind of go on those. It's like a long run in basketball. It's like if you
Mhm.
could just go get on like a 10-point run, like against your opponents. I don't know. I
Mhm.
don't know what characteristic of golf is like makes someone able to do that. But if
Mhm.
Fleetwood can figure that out, he's gonna be a dangerous player.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Like I said, he has a bunch of victories on the DP tour, but man, he's still. I think I saw a stat that he's obviously he has the most starts on the PGA, currently active players on the PGA without a victory, but has the most top tens. So
Oh man.
yeah, you hope one of these days he just like you hope he closes in on one like where the field's not that strong. He's like, I'm gonna play in this one. I got to get me a PGA victory.
Yeah.
But things just don't tend to roll his way. I remember when he played in the RBC Canadian and he lost in that playoff to I think Nick Taylor on like a
Oh really?
long, crazy like I'm not exaggerating, maybe like 60-foot putt, bro. And Nick Taylor sunk it. And
Oh
Tommy Fleetwood can do nothing but laugh like that's just how things have been going, man.
yeah. Yeah, I've lost in a playoff like that too. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, what
Yeah,
do I do there?
yeah, and yeah, it's tough, man. Um, Also, I did have Hideki played pretty solid. I think he ended up finishing with 5 or 6 under. He was one of my other sleepers, man. You know what's funny too? My wife and me were talking about. She was like, "Man, what's the lowest under like someone has like won a tournament?" And guess who it is?
Dude,
Obviously,
that's a good
Hideki.
question.
It's
Is
Hideki.
it really? I was gonna
35
say like
under.
Tiger. I
No,
was like Tiger.
no. And guess when he did it? This year at the Century, bro. 35 under.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It,
That was like
it's
the first tournament. Yeah.
yes, yes. And the other thing that's crazy is guess who had the record prior to him before he broke it?
Was it him
He's
as
on
well?
no, he's on live. His guy's on live. Was one of the hottest putters.
I was gonna say like DJ or Bryson.
Won the Open and got up out of there.
Cam Smith.
Cam Smith, bro, 32 under, bro. And it's infuriating to say because he's terrible now. But it's like, bro, you were
Dude,
such a dog on this tour.
I know, dude. You shot 30 under at one point in your life, and the last time you had an outing on national TV, you shot four
Mhm.
over.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. But that was just kind of like my random fact, but also remembering that Hideki was one of my sleepers, man. Um, but again, in all, it was awesome to see Ben Griffin get that victory. Actually,
Hmm.
Novak also played really, really well too. So I know that
Hmm.
he was happy for like his running mate to actually get one. So
Yeah,
it
Novak got
works.
T11, so
Yeah,
solid
yeah, 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 yeah. He's having a great year,
top
for
10.
being
Yeah.
30 and kind of getting on there for sure.
Hmm.
There we go.
Oh
Got it.
shoot.
There we go. Hey, dog, everybody, like I said, we got a special guest, man. We got my dog, Tracy Hansen, Golf and Gospel alumni, former LPGA Tour player, LPGA Legends Tour player, and author of Finding My Course, and also just a great person. Tracy, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to talk your book, golf, and a lot of things. And Tracy's also my boy Nate Wong, who's also a Golf and Gospel
Yo,
alumni.
how's it going?
Nice to meet you, Nate.
Good to meet you. Thanks so
Absolutely.
much. What an honor it is to have you.
Nate's a huge fan of you, Trace, because he liked how you were bombing it off the tee on our episode.
Hitting bombs. Yeah.
I said she was out driving me and Chelsea.
Oh, you guys took me for a route. You had a ringer on your team.
Yeah.
But I keep telling everybody like you were literally a putt away from beating us, like legit. Like
Yeah, on the
the
last hole.
recovery you had on hole 17, the recovery she had,
Oh,
the sink,
17.
the
Yeah.
bogey on the island 17 was crazy. Because she definitely could have just called it there, but she locked in, bro.
Yeah. And Chelsea was
For
making
sure.
some bombs. So,
She was. She was.
Yeah.
She was. Absolutely. But Tracy, I want to jump into this, man. So obviously you're the author of Finding My Course. Check that out on Amazon. I will put that link in the description. But I want to know what led you to writing this book. Obviously, I read it before it came out, and you displayed vulnerability, courage, and adversity. So tell us what went into the idea of making this book.
That's a good question. Back when I started my counseling journey, I had people starting to tell me like you should write your story, and I was not a writer. I didn't think of myself as a writer. I kind of dabbled in writing, and but then I think as I got more grounded in my story, I started thinking about it, and so I started trying to put content together, and then I stalled. I
Mm-mm.
stalled for several years
Yeah.
until I met the first editor that I worked with, and then we really brainstormed it and got it into the format that it is today. And then I had a second editor that really helped shape it. And I did all the writing myself, and they just kind of helped um, polish it up as we went. So
yeah.
that's kind of the process.
That's awesome. And again, guys, I highly and if you hear me saying this, I hate reading books. So if I'm advocating for this, I highly recommend you guys go and get that book off Amazon. Again, Finding My Course by Tracy Hansen, man. But Tracy, the next thing I want to talk to you about, but I'm gonna let obviously Nate get the mic at some point. You're part of the LPGA Legends Tour. What is the LPGA Legends Tour and like what is the premise of it? Because I know when I talk to you guys, is it kind of in relationship of trying to be like the PGA Champions Tour for the men's?
Well, that would be fantastic if that was
Mhm.
possible.
Right.
Um, I think back when I was still playing on the tour, there was a group of ladies that were kind of retiring out of the LPGA that wanted to keep playing. And so they worked really
Mhm.
hard to develop the first idea of the Legends Tour. And I
Mhm.
think for a while they had maybe 12 to 18 tournaments a year.
Mhm.
Oh,
Probably, I don't know how much money was available,
For
probably not
sure.
a ton, but they were
mm,
playing much more. And then
Mm.
with a couple of the recessions, things kind of faded away. And so then it's been
mhm.
a little bit harder to develop sponsors and cohesiveness in tournaments. So it's a 45 and older right now.
Mhm.
You
Oh,
don't
okay.
have to have played on the LPGA tour, but if
Mm.
you get there's all kinds of priority points
For sure.
and categories, and so if you did play on tour, you get higher priority, but you can
Mm.
also
Oh,
earn your way into being a member of the tour. So I think right
Yeah.
now we have only uh, 3 to 4 official Legends Tour events, and then we have
Yep.
the USGA Senior Open and a couple state opens that have senior divisions. And so, but we are working on maybe trying to get up to about 8 Legend Tour events for 1 year,
Yeah.
and that's really kind of what our population wants because a lot of us have second
mm,
jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
mm.
That's awesome. And you still
Does
get to display the talent you guys have, man. And guys, if you're watching this, man, go check out the LPGA Legend Tour. Got some dogs on there. Obviously, Tracy Hansen, Angela Stanford's on the tour, Jill McGill, Christie Kerr just won this week. And also, who's a person I play with who's a dog reporter? Lydia, how do you say it? Or Lita?
Lita
Lydia, how do you
Lindley,
say it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who's
oh,
also a US Open senior winner, right?
she won the last
oh, wow.
2024 Senior Open.
Yeah, yeah. So there's some
Oh,
dogs on the tour, man. So again, guys, check out the LPGA Legends tour. And again, I'm gonna let Nate
wait,
get this mic, man, because I know
real
Nate got
quick.
some questions. Yeah, for sure.
So when it comes to like the points, because like you played on the LPGA, you get like priority or whatever. Does like how well you did on the LPGA give you more of a priority? Like if like
It's
Nelly
one of the
Corda wants to play in it?
categories.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's like Hall of Fame category. There's tournament
Oh,
winner categories from like the LPGA Senior Open, the USGA Open, um, and then there's like top 10 um, LPGA career money list category, and then
oh,
there's Legends Tour points category,
Mm,
And so that kind of like feeds into a ladder system.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. I mean, that'd be cool because like it would make sense if you wanted like someone like Annika to play in it just to get more eyeballs on the TV and people recognize her name, obviously.
Right. When Annika's a Hall of Famer, so she'll get
Yeah.
into whatever she wants.
For
But
sure. Yeah.
but I think I think there's only like 5 spots for Hall of Famers. So then if there's more
Dang.
Hall of Famers that sign up, then they would fall into a different category and still would get in.
Oh.
But then it bumps somebody else out. So you might like,
Oh.
I mean, I feel like have a couple categories that I get in. But with some younger 45 to 50-year-old girls coming, it will bump some of the 50 to 60-year-olds out.
Mm. Oh, I see.
Yeah. And are there any, and maybe that's just where this is now, but is there any chance that like, man, the LPGA Legends Tour does so well that's like, okay, maybe we can expand for lack of better word, we can expand the field.
The field.
Well, right now last week at our senior championship, the Legends Senior Championship, not the
Right.
USGA.
For sure.
We did have a meeting, and the idea is to get up to 8 events of 60 to 75 players versus right now we have one that's that size, and then we have 2 that are going to be more around 40 players.
Oh.
I think that's still a solid field though.
Yeah, it's just hard because there are more people that want to play.
Right. Yeah. Nate, anything? I know you had a list of questions for. I can talk to Tracy all day, but I ain't gonna be selfish.
Yeah. Well, for like just off the bat, like what is some of the coolest courses you've played or been to? Like, because you spent a week in a lot of these places. Like, what are some of the coolest areas you've been to?
It's such a hard question. It's probably the most popular question that I get asked.
Oh, well.
I think I was asked last.
My bad.
No, that's right. I always I think of Turnberry in Scotland. Just aesthetically beautiful, incredibly challenging. I haven't been able to.
Was it windy?
Oh yes, definitely windy. But I've also played a lot of the great courses on the northwest side of England, which is all like Royal Liverpool, Hoylake.
Oh.
Royal Lytham, St. Anne's.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I have played Pebble once, but not in a tournament. But
Yeah,
I've also just realized that I've played the Chicago Golf Club, which is a historical icon. One of the first 2 or 3 courses built in America.
Wow.
And where they had our first USGA Senior Open. I've played Oakland Hills.
Okay.
I've played Oakmont.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get to play Oak Hill this year. So
yeah.
But then there's some courses that I like that are the no-namers too, because
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
it's the type of grass I like.
Pricing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like, what's a surprising place to play? Like, you're like, you would never. No one knows about this place, but it's like, yo, this is a gem.
Well, there's a place here I'm not in Michigan right now, but in Michigan there's a place called Pilgrim's Run, which is owned by a Christian family.
Nice.
Every hole, Pilgrim's Progress, the book. Every hole has a name from the book.
Oh,
remember, Tracy,
cool.
the only book I'm reading is yours, so I haven't read that book.
Okay. Trust me, Geremy. There's a book called Pilgrim's Progress. But I mean, that's a hidden gem. It's a public course. It's cut out of the trees and kind of undulation of just north of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Stunning, beautiful, difficult, and then just good people that run it.
Awesome.
Oh, cool. Pilgrim's Run. Shout out to Pilgrim's Run. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. My college roommate is from Grand Rapids, so if I ever go visit him, I might check it out.
For sure.
Tracy, we would love for you to walk us through like what a week at the U.S. Open is like. I believe 2003, you had the best finish, T28, if I say it correctly, which is crazy because I think you retired from the tour 3 years later. So it's crazy you got hot like towards the end of your career. But yeah, what's a week look like, of the U.S. Open?
Yeah, I mean, every tournament week is long, but there's something special about the Open. There's
Mm.
something that kind of drives us, like we want to get there by Sunday afternoon. We're already practicing. If you didn't play the week before or you missed the cut, like you're on the range Sunday afternoon at an Open.
Uh,
Oh,
And Monday becomes just as much as a practice round as a Tuesday. So you're playing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday practice rounds. I would say the majority of players might play 9-18-9 or 18-9-9.
oh wow,
They're not playing 18 3 days in a row,
for sure that would hurt.
but
yeah.
you're still hitting golf balls, chipping, putting, and
Like all
you're
over the
putting
course.
8 to 10 hours a day.
Yeah, that's why I'm not good yet because I'm not putting 8 to 10 hours.
And
Yeah.
then the tournament round comes and it's like go time, but there's just something special about the atmosphere of the Open. It's always a bigger stage. Um, I mean, for the men, they have all kinds of tournaments that are big
For
stages, but
sure.
for the women, like it's like big
Yeah.
pavilions, big grandstands,
Oh,
um, very challenging courses. I'm
Yeah.
sure Erin
yeah.
Hills is going to play hard. We'll see what the weather does,
Yeah.
whether it's soft or hard, but
Right.
Hmm.
there you have to go in there with a gritty mentality. That is, you got to have a lot of patience. You just have to keep grinding, and you have to play your ball out as best you can.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure you
So,
went in with that
like,
attitude because I was telling Nate when we did our episode, you was like, "Yeah, my back's hurt a little bit." You just went out there crushing driver. I was like, "Man, Tracy fooled everybody, man."
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I played
like
most of my
that.
career with some kind of pain, so sometimes I have too high of a threshold.
Oh wow, wow, wow. But go ahead, Nate. I feel
Yeah.
like you're about to say something.
Yeah. I was just gonna say like so like that week, like leading up to like an event like the U.S. Open versus just like a regular, I don't know, like 4 championship. Do you feel like there's a different mentality or like a more thorough preparation that you guys usually go through in a bigger event?
I think if you talk to most of the players, like the top players, they would say they try to do the same thing as in
Okay.
any other tournament. But the difference between an Open and a regular event, there's no pro-am. And so you have a
Oh,
full
okay.
extra day of practice.
Uh,
And
Oh,
then
okay.
an Open course is set up that in a way that the greens are usually fast and undulating.
Yeah.
They're usually challenging rough. And so
Yeah.
I think there's extra attention put around the greens at a U.S. Open.
Okay.
And
Okay. Just because of the.
yeah, just really trying to map out your plan.
Okay. Does without the pro-am, does that change a whole lot, or is it just like gives you guys an extra like 9 holes to play here and there?
Oh, that's a good question too. I think it does change a little bit because
Okay.
when we play, well, on our tour, when we play a pro-am, we're usually playing a scramble.
yeah, that was a good time I
Oh,
had
okay.
with playing the
Yeah.
LPGA
And
Legends Tour. Yeah.
so when you play a scramble, you get to kind of mess around on the greens a little bit, but you a lot of times don't really get to play the courses I would play it during a tournament round because we might
Oh,
be
I
taking
gotcha.
somebody else's drive, or if you have a female on your team and they're playing the forward tees and they're way up the fairway, and so you're not
Yeah.
necessarily playing the courses if it was a Thursday or Friday.
Like your drive. Yeah.
And so
I
I
What's
think
gotcha.
for the Open, it's beneficial to the players
mm, yeah,
that they get this extra practice round as if they're playing the course for themselves.
You you mentioned like the aesthetics because like there's more stands and stuff like that. Does that change? Like, does that mess with you mentally as a player? Like, wow, there's like this thing behind the green now, and it might mess with your depth perception or something. I don't know. Like,
mm,
yeah, is there anything different with that?
Um, I think you just have to get used to it. I think so for
Okay.
a young player or a first time player at the Open, they might be a little bit in awe if they've never seen. So like some of the Epson
Oh.
Tour players that earn their spot, they might be a
mhm,
little bit in awe and like, "Ooh, like this
Hmm.
is big time." But I think the more you play them, the more you get used to it. And I think probably my most nervous golf shot in my career was teeing off on the first tee of any Open
Oh,
because it's
dude,
just more
first tee.
people.
Yeah.
There's more noise, and it just feels more not more important, but just like more historic, maybe.
Yeah,
I
more
can understand
significant.
the
Yeah.
I was gonna say too, I can understand the crowd that, they were probably bringing in too, because I know,
Mhm.
like, when we shot an episode, you talked about all the Hall of Famers at the time that you were playing against in that field. So I'm sure the crowd probably was even more intimidating, uh, even back then, as I won't say not as opposed to now, 'cause there's still obviously some dog talent on the LPGA, but, when you talk about obviously like Annika Sorensson, along with some other Hall of Famers, like,
Nancy
that could
Lopez,
be at Nancy Lopez, yeah,
Julie
it could be added pressure
Easter,
to it.
Meg Mallon, Beth Daniel,
Yeah,
Jan Stevenson. Um,
yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, I would say that I played in the era where we definitely had a broad range of iconic names.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a fair thought right there. But yeah, so obviously we got the U.S. Women's Open coming up this week. Let's talk golf, because I want to respect women's golf on this podcast. We don't just go here and like, let's go to the PGA. No, we respect women's golf from the
Mhm.
LPGA, Legends Tour, and Epson Tour. But big tournament coming up. So Tracy, we would love to know your top 4 predictions for who you believe are going to finish as winners, possibly. It's hard to predict golf. Me
Yeah.
and Nate have not been right yet.
0%. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't follow. I'm just going to be totally honest. I don't follow
That's
all the
right.
names on the LPGA. Like I follow the Epson Tour a little bit more because that's where I
Yeah,
spend
I do
time.
too.
But you can't go without saying Nelly,
Okay.
right? You got to
As
throw her
far
in
as
the hat.
following Geremy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean she hasn't won an Open yet.
Yep.
She hasn't won this year yet,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
probably feeling pretty hungry for that.
Yeah.
But I think she's had some good play, and
Yeah.
just hasn't got through on Sunday. But so I would definitely put Nelly in the hat. Lydia Ko, I think.
Okay.
She won this year. Yeah.
She's won. She's at a U.S. Open, accuracy off the tee is really important. Like
Okay.
keeping it in the fairway so that you have a
Yeah.
chance to get to the green. And I know Erin Hills has some of the longer heather grass, but I don't know what like the rough looks like. But you got to be able to hit out of the fairway into the green, especially if they're firm and fast. And
Yeah. You want to be able to stop it. Yeah.
yeah. As far as like, we have a lot of international players on the LPGA tour.
Yeah.
Charlie Hull, you never know. She's a scrappy
Yeah.
golfer.
Yeah.
She's played some good golf recently. She can get a little bit over aggressive, so that may
For
be
sure.
hurtful for her. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to pronounce a lot of the Asian names.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I just struggle mentioning the winner of the Riviera Open,
Mhm.
Chisato Iway. I probably said it 3 different ways, but I do want to respect
Mhm.
her. But yeah, there are a lot of hard pronunciations on the LPGA tour.
Yeah, I want to give. So I don't know if I can give you 4 full names. So
Yeah.
Nelly,
Uh-huh.
Lydia. I'll throw Charlie in there, and maybe Brooke Henderson.
Yeah.
I'll throw Brooke Henderson in there too.
Okay, the Canadian.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's see how she
She's a
does.
good ball
Yeah,
striker. But I do
she
want
is.
to like highlight Yanni Singh,
Okay.
who is a 5-time major championship winner, had to go through the qualifying process to get
Wow.
into
Oh,
the
wow.
championship. And for those of us on my side of the ropes, that's a comeback story.
For sure.
She's really
Uh-huh.
struggled the
For
last
sure.
handful of years, and so I think it's really exciting that she actually had to work her way back into the Open. And I
Mhm.
don't know how her game is right now. I know she's struggled putting
Right.
for a while, but I just want to give a shout out to her. And then
Yeah.
you said Lita Lindley. Now this is over 6,800
Yeah.
yard
Yeah.
golf course.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't play that long
Long.
on the Legends Tour
Right.
anymore, and that's longer
Yeah.
than when I played on the tour.
Yeah.
But I just want to give a shout out to Lita. Like, it would
Yeah.
be phenomenal if she could plug her way around the golf course and make the cut.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it would just be really good for women's golf.
I agree.
Yeah.
I actually talked to her. 'Cause I saw she finished, I think, T4 at Utah.
Yeah, she
You
played both.
know. Yeah. So I gave her props, and she said, "Yeah, please be praying for me at the U.S. Open." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm definitely praying for you for sure. That'd be amazing." I
Yeah.
think those are solid picks that you had with, we call those 2 sleepers. I like those. I'll go with my top four. Um, I studied this well. So, well, I have three. I have three. So I'm gonna go Angel Yin. I think Angel Yin. She missed this cut last year, but does have a win this year. Short
Nice.
game matters here at this course. She's ranked sixth in putting per green and reg, which she's also ranked 11th in green and regulation. So I think that would be huge for her. So I like her odds. But again, what you mentioned, Tracy, is being accurate at this course. That's what may concern me. Driving actually, she's ranked 118. So that might be, her issue going into this tournament. But again, she does have three top tens this year. So I like Angel Yin. The next person I'm going to say is a bit of a dark horse. I've been a fan of her since playing in the pro-am with her at the four championships 2 years ago at Seville Golf and Country Club. I got Elizabeth Sokol, 6 starts this year, 5 cuts made. And again, with this course being long, she's ranked top 10 in driving distance. So my only fear with Elizabeth would be her putting. So there's some give and take there. And lastly, I think Nate say he was gonna steal this from me, but I'm gonna say it first. That's why I want to go first before he stole it from me. I got Araya Junigard. I had played with her sister at that same program, Mariah Junigard, Jutanagard, excuse me. But we look at her last three tournaments. She finished T3, T2, and T6, with one of them being at the Chevron, which she really had that in the bag if she didn't duff that chip on hole 18 to go to the
Mhm.
playoff. But I think she's really, really close to a breakthrough though. So that would be my top three finishers for the women's US Open. And I hope me and Nate get one right this time because we haven't hit on the head yet. But as you could see, I didn't say Nelly. I
Yeah.
didn't say Nelly. I
I
don't know.
know.
I don't know, dog. I don't know.
I think that's a mistake. I think that's a big mistake, Germ.
Okay, I like it. I'll
N
take that pressure,
Not
man.
picking Nelly. So,
Okay.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
she's my favorite to win it. Because I think I texted you this, but she's number 2 on strokes gain off the tee.
Uh-huh.
So that means she's hitting it far and she's able to like put herself in position to, I don't know, for her approaches. Oh,
Oh, I think you're
I
back,
was just
Tracy.
saying.
I think
Are
she's
you
back.
good? Are you good?
I
I
see.
d-
Yeah, but I don't know if she's still available. Tracy, can you
Oh,
hear us?
yeah. I just lost you for a second for some reason. Can you hear me?
Okay. I'm gonna. Yeah, I hear you.
no.
I hope you're still going.
Yeah.
It says recording, so I'm
Okay.
gonna hope that wasn't. Sorry for the
Yeah.
technical difficulties, everybody. But Nate was in the middle of convincing me why I should have picked Nelly, but I'm not picking Nelly.
Yeah, I think Nelly. I think that's a mistake not picking Nelly. She's number 2 on strokes gained off the tee, and we all know she can hit it far, and she's super accurate with her
For sure.
irons.
For
So
sure.
I think this is the tournament that she's gonna turn it around. So,
What
um,
putter is she using? Because we talked about the Chevron. She
oh
switched. Well,
shoot,
she
that's
went
right.
from
She
mallet
switched
blade
putters.
back to mallet. So now it's like, oh, what
Oh,
are you gonna do
so
here?
now we got to see what she comes up with.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
dude, she's gonna hit it so close to the hole on her
Won't even
approach
matter.
that it doesn't matter. Yeah, it won't even matter. Um, but she's really good off team. And now that Tracy said Charlie, I think that's not a bad pick because she hits the ball well off the tee as well.
Strong
Um,
player.
yeah, she's a very strong player, and she can like lean into it if she does. She's not ranked in the top 8 though for driving distance. Um,
Uh,
but I think since Tracy mentioned her, I'm gonna pick her.
okay.
I don't know. I kind of want Rose Zhang to.
Wow, that's a dark horse.
She's kind of a dark horse pick, but
She
she
came
was
out hot out of college, or while she
yeah.
was still in college. She was a hot player, man.
Yeah.
Well, she was like in college, graduated, then played, and then like would just keep winning.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
won her
And
first event.
yeah, she won her first. She didn't win like I don't think she won the next one, but I think she's won a few more. If I
Yeah.
my recollection is wrong, but that would be cool if she does well. I don't know what her stats are though. Um,
Yeah, I haven't
Uh,
seen her
but that would be
name up recently.
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. That's why I said that's a dark horse. That is a dark
Yeah,
horse.
it's tough because Tracy would probably know this too. It's just like in golf, you get like these slumps, and you just have no idea why the golf gods aren't agreeing with you. And um, but
I had all 3 things happen last week. Each day I did
yeah,
something
What,
different.
where'd
yeah,
you
and that
finish? Like 30? What did you finish place wise?
34 I think, but
Yeah, yeah. Because I saw your name there. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so
um,
Rose Zhang.
and
You had
then yeah,
Roseanne, Charlie Hall.
And then I
Nelly,
think,
which I'm not agreeing with.
yeah, I don't know. I looking through like these past leaderboards. I mean, I think Jutanagard is a good pick.
I think that's a
Yeah, don't
good
'Cause
take
pick
my
too.
pick, bro. Yeah,
She was
yeah.
she was one of the bigger hitters on the playoff hole on at the
She was.
Chevron,
Yeah, yeah.
and
She got on it too, I think.
yeah,
Or she maybe she cleared the green, but she went for it in two.
was she the one with the really short eagle putt? Was that her or was that someone else?
Nah, I don't think she folded on the eagle putt.
The
I
one
think
that
she
three putted
cleared
the
it
eagle.
and she had to chip to get on and then go for birdie.
Oh, okay. But but yeah, but her driver is doing well. So, and just like Tracy was saying, like if you can get the ball in play and down the fairway, like it just makes the approach so much easier on firm, dry greens.
Yes. Yeah, and I think the big player, right, that they'll start talking about is what the wind's going to do.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point, especially those link style courses. It always blows, and it's the Midwest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. It's a great point. It's a great point.
Yeah,
Yeah. But hey Tracy again, man, we just thank you for taking your time. I know you're on the East Coast, 8 o'clock. Me and Nate still got the sun out here in Arizona. It's 5:39. But no, we really appreciate you taking the time to obviously I'm gonna keep supporting you, obviously in golf and obviously your book. Like I said, it was a great read because I don't like reading, guys. Again, I don't like reading. You should read this book, bro. Again, the
There it
link will
is.
be in the description right there.
oh, cool.
Perfect. Love it. Yes. Finding
What a
my
cool
course.
action
I will
post.
put yes, I'll put a description in the I'll put a link in the description where you guys can buy that on Amazon. And you can follow Tracy on IG, Tracy Hansen Initiative,
Yes.
as well as you can go to tracyhanseninitiative.com and see what she's about. And also check out her Golf and Gospel episode. She's still a stick. Did a great
Mhm.
job, sharing her testimony, her story, and everything that she believes in. But again, Tracy, we just thank you for taking the time to be on the Golf and Gospel Pod.
Well, thanks for having me, and thanks for supporting women's golf so much and doing what you guys are doing, not only talking golf and having fun, but sharing the gospel too.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Yo,
Absolutely,
real,
Tracy.
real quick, I gotta say one, because you were
Go
talking
ahead.
about someone making the U.S. Open qualifier. I worked with this one girl, so I'm a physical therapist, and I worked with this one girl in the LPGA. She played. It was like her 7th year on tour. She got like third at some major before so I think it was a Chevron. Um, I could be wrong, but she got third at some major, and she still wasn't like qualified to make the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Open. And she had to qualify, and she made it on the number, and got in. I think she finished like top 15. So it's a grind, and I feel like people don't understand like how impressive it is to make it through these qualifying rounds. Like you're competing with people at their very best, playing out of their minds, and you have to somehow make it happen and make your day the best day. So it's super difficult. So
Yeah,
yeah, I just
it's true.
wanted
And
to
it's even
echo that.
harder because we were talking about this last week, how they have, they, I think, shrunk down the number of qualifying sites, but there's not that many
Mm.
spots available at each site. And back when I
Oh yeah.
played, there was usually at least one spot or two spots that had a few more
Mhm.
spots available because of the quality of the field. And it
Uh-huh.
seems like that it doesn't happen that way anymore.
They
So,
don't have
you
that.
got 100,
Oh,
130 girls playing for two spots.
they don't curve it.
Sheesh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And actually one of my friends just made it, Dana Fall. So shout out to Dana.
Oh, I know of her.
Yeah,
She's the one that's always like hitting golf balls in her house.
yeah, she was first
Yeah.
alternate, so she made
Nice.
it in. So congrats to her. Shout out to Dana.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Well,
That's
thanks.
awesome.
I
Yeah, thanks for
appreciate having
hopping
me,
on.
and
Yeah, for
keep
sure.
doing what you guys are doing.
Absolutely, Tracy. I'll
Thanks. You
stay in
too.
touch, man. And again, thank you.
Okay. See ya.
All right. See ya.
Yeah.
Again, everybody, Tracy Hansen, LPGA Legends Tour Pro, former LPGA Tour Pro, and author of Finding My Course. Again, please go check out that book. She is a homie. Been a huge supporter for Golf and Gospel as well as Golf and Gospel Pod. But Nate, man, let's transition to the PGA. We got the Memorial coming up, another signature event, bro. Memorial tournament at Murfield Village Golf Club in Ohio, which is the 5th longest course on tour with a
Oh, dang.
typical slope of 155, man.
Oh,
I wanna
dang.
hear your thoughts too, which is I mean, I don't wanna speculate like we're TMZ or anything, but yo, what's your thoughts about Rory backing out, withdrawing from this tournament?
That's weird, dude. Um, I wonder if that oh, that's right, you sent me that. I wonder if that elbow
Mhm.
thing is, really getting to him,
I hope not, or I don't know if it's like
or if he's
with
saving himself for the next major, you know?
maybe, but it's a signature event though, bro. My only thing is I'm speculating, could be totally wrong here, is the whole thing with the driver. Like, what if it was
Oh,
like,
that's
"Oh, I
right.
was trying to cheat, but you guys caught me," which I don't think so. I don't think so. Imma stick to my word what I said the last podcast, but, like, maybe he's trying this new driver. He's like, "Man, it's not working, and I'm not ready to play at this long course." Even with Rory
Yeah,
being
I
a big
think that's
hitter,
what
just
it
I'm
is.
not accurate right now. So maybe that's why,
Yeah,
or maybe he has some personal reasons, and I'm not gonna speculate on some guy's personal life. I'm gonna keep it strictly golf.
yeah.
But, yeah, he's backing out, man. I really want to see him and Scotty go at it again.
Yeah, that's why we watch
Even though
these
you
signature events, yeah.
yeah, it's best on best. I kinda wanna know who's kinda replacing that spot. I wonder what alternate is placing that spot. Because a lot of guys, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, actually, when Sahith withdrew, Alex Smalley got in, I think it was Alex Smalley, and he went on to have a really good tournament. So those alternate guys always stay ready, man, but I think it's just
Yeah.
really weird that Rory decided to withdraw from this. So I guess we'll just look forward for him at the, maybe the next event if it's a worthy
Mhm.
event of him playing in, but we're not sure what he's going through. But I know obviously him being, for lack of better words, caught with that driver
Yeah,
that's
non-conforming.
non-conforming and then now withdrawing may seem a little weird.
Speculation, yeah. Yeah,
Big
good for
time.
headlines, you know?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. But no, this tournament was definitely fun last year, coming down to the wire between Colin Morikawa and Scotty. Remember Colin? I don't know if you remember, Colin had to like kind of chip it in from the back of the green to kind of win it because he missed the green long on the green
Was
in
that the
regulation. Well, I
one
think
where
he.
he, like, it
Go
hits
ahead.
the pin and it, like, drops or
Nah,
I
nah.
can't
So
remember.
Colin sent it long, and he had to like chip in. It was so close to going in,
Oh,
so
okay.
close. Yeah, he got
Yeah, yeah, it
second, and
was like an
Scotty
inch
went on
short.
two
Yeah, it
putting.
was, like, literally an
Yeah,
inch short. Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, and it rolled past it, bro. Um, But like I said, Memorial, one of the hardest courses to play, one of the longest courses, man.
Yeah.
I would love it for us to stay with this format because obviously we just be talking about players. But let's go with our four predicting winners who we believe can win, and then two sleepers. With some sort of hopefully reasoning on why we're picking them. And I'll start first with my sleepers. Um, I'm gonna go with this guy who's the number one ranked putting player on the tour right now, and Scotty just recently said, if I can switch anything with this guy, I would be his putting.
Ooh,
And one of my sleepers is going to be Sam Burns, bro. He's 11th in birdie average and 14th in longest drive. And we said this course is the fifth longest course on tour.
and he had the
Um,
best Sunday at the PGA, so
he did. And the thing that will worry me about Sam, but he's only a sleeper for me, is tee to green isn't that well, as well as his approach to green are not that strong. So that's my
oh,
only conviction with him. But if he's at some point getting on in one putting, because he's number one putting, then hey,
yeah,
that
get
could
those
that could
irons
say a lot
ready.
about his game. Yeah. And again, long course, he's 14 and longest drive, man. This can definitely help him out. The second person I'm going with my sleeper is our Ryder Cup captain, man. He's been having some good
Oh,
turning out some good shows. Yeah, yeah, for sure, bro. Uh, Going Keegan Bradley, bro. He's had some solid finishes this year. Um, and like you had mentioned too, he beat the European Ryder Cup captain, in the
yeah,
PGA Championship, which has been awesome. But we look at Keegan's year, bro. He's played in 12 events. He has 7 top 25s, 3 top 10s, 11 cuts made. Only missed 1 cut. But, he's just playing so well that, again, there's even speculation about, like, what if he gets playing status for the Ryder Cup? Like, that's how well he's doing, which we also talked about how the last person to be a captain and a player in the Ryder Cup was in 1963, which was, Arnold Palmer, I believe we said.
uh-huh.
Yeah, because you thought
Thought it
Tiger,
was
but that was the
Tiger.
President's Cup. Yes, President's Cup,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, so those are my 2 sleepers who I believe have a good chance of surprising. Because I'm really hopeful for Sam Burns, bro. He's
Good
playing
player.
some really solid golf. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Like, when I first saw I was like, "This is in Dublin." And I was like,
Oh, nah, yeah,
why is
higher,
Rory dropping out? I
for sure.
know.
That's funny.
So, I don't know, man. For sleepers, I kind of want to pick Homa, but
Okay,
he's been kind of streaky.
very.
He's been kind of a streaky player, but I mean, I'm
Does
just a
good in these
fan of the
signature
guy.
events and these majors, though.
Yeah, I feel like it would be a safe pick if you're like he's going to be top 10 or
Yeah.
top 15. You know,
Well,
it
not
would
wh
be
why not
very
go with
safe.
him then? But I will say this, though, we've learned so far this year, if I'm and God correct me in the comments, the only club brand not to win this year, I think it's Cobra. Because I think last week, I believe Ben Griffin is Mizuno, so he won, and
Yeah,
we know Strixon has won with Hideki Matsuyama. We know, obviously TaylorMade has won with Rory and with Scotty,
yeah. With Scotty,
um,
Ping is one with Victor,
Victor Hovland, yeah,
and then Minwoo is Callaway.
yep, and then Titleist is, Justin
JT.
Thomas, JT.
Yeah.
So we've seen a lot. Well, I believe no PXG players probably yet. I don't think so.
Well, but PXG is
They're
have
not
they won?
contenders.
Have they won? Yeah, they're the they're the little brother.
Yeah,
No
they're not
offense,
contention. They're
PXG.
not contention for sure. Unless someone like Jake Knapp or Eric Cole come out here
Yeah,
hooping.
Eric
Yeah,
Cole.
yeah. But
Yeah.
that right now, that's the only bigger name brand that has not won on tour yet is Cobra. But you're going with the sleeper and Max Homa. So hey, I
Yeah,
like it.
dude. You know your pick last week, Fleetwood.
Mhm.
I
That's a good
think
sleeper
he's a good pick because he's kind of grinding. We were just talking about it. If he can just kind of go on those like whatever the equivalent of for golf, like those basketball 10-point runs, you know, or
scoring a
like
heater
20-point swings. If he can just figure that out, granted, if it's a long course, it's hard to do.
for sure.
Um, but he does hit the ball far. You know, he's ranked like 40 something in just driving distance, but
Yeah,
he's known for hitting it far off the tee. You know, and I feel like that sometimes those stats don't necessarily reflect um, how far someone can actually hit it.
yeah.
So I think Fleetwood is a good pick. Um,
I like that pick.
he's showing some promise, you know,
Yeah, I like it.
and it would be cool if his first PGA Tour win was a signature event.
Oh man, that would be amazing, bro.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone would be upset with hearing that Tommy Fleetwood just won at all.
yeah. And then my third pick, dude, I'm gonna. You know what? I think I'm gonna do this, dude. I think I'm gonna pick Victor Hovland every week until he freaking wins.
Oh my gosh, he already won though.
Well, yeah, and like, but I didn't pick him in that one. I was
Yeah,
just
you
like
did it.
rooting
You
for
did it.
him.
You did it. You did
Um,
it.
but I'm gonna just pick him because I think I can speak it into
Yeah.
existence. I want him to win again. He's one of my favorite players. Ranked 13th in the world right now.
Mhm.
He hits the ball well off the tee. Let's see, what is he ranked? Oh, he's 37th for FedEx Cup.
I like that.
No, he's ranked 27th in total driving. So and oh wow, he's ranked 91 off driving distance, 36th off driving accuracy, and you know I think he hits the ball far enough to get around a long course. So
Yeah,
he's
I like that.
I'm gonna pick him
As
until I get
and that.
tired of picking him.
All right, so we have our two sleepers. We have Sam Burns, Keegan Bradley, and we have Victor Hovland. And you said who else?
Homa
And
and
Max Homa.
Fleetwood.
Yeah, Homa
Yeah,
Fleetwood. Okay, and he's going to throw in Victor Hovland. All right, so I'm gonna go with my top four guys who I think really have a legit chance of winning. And people might laugh at me with these picks because like you think they have a legit chance. Yes, I'm gonna say it. So the first guy I'm gonna go with is one guy that I don't want to say I try to model my swing after, but I also do. But I'm trying not to be as quick as him. But I love his ball striking, similar built, big hitter, man. And we talked about him today while playing golf at TPC. He obviously has restricted power to be more accurate. Going Tony Finau, bro. I
yeah,
think these last few weeks he's been playing really good golf. And beginning to middle, he wasn't playing that good. Was missing quite a few cuts. But lately he's been confining himself in like these, top 15 situations. And again, a long course. He's been accurate. Accurate. He's a big hitter. I think Tony Finau can have a legit chance if he can just dial in his putting. Man, he kind of gets a little yipsy there with the putting. Next guy I'm gonna go with too. I believe he either has 1 or 2 career wins, but he, really thin guy, thin built, one of your favorite lefties. I'm going Akshay Patia, man. I think he can definitely
Good pick.
get some legit distance off the tee. He was playing really well last week. I think either after Friday or Saturday, yeah, he was definitely a top 5 guy. I think, he was in contention, kinda going back and forth with Rickie Fowler. I think Akshay Bhatia is definitely a guy that has another chance of winning, and, this guy, I I'm kinda hesitant saying him, but, you mentioned him not too long ago, and you talked about how, his swing has resembled one of the better golfers on tour. You saying he looked more stronger where your brother passed the TV. You was like, "Is that so and so?" Imma say Matt Fitzpatrick, bro. He has some good finishes in some majors, signature event here, and you can see the trend I'm going. I'm just going with guys who hit the ball far right now. I'm trying to have guys get off the tee and have a wedge shot in, and, these 3 guys I just named are big hitters, bro. So Imma go with these 3, and then my last guy, do I think has a legit chance? Again, and I love Scotty, but I just feel like it's too easy to pick him, and it's not as fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's not good for ratings.
it's not good for ratings, bro. It's too easy. And like I said, the one guy on TikTok got super mad at me because of, me picking. I ain't pick Scotty. I ain't pick Scotty all year. But he got so mad because, the people that I picked. But I'm gonna go with the guy that came back and was victorious against Colin Morikawa. And I think he might be top 8 in the rankings right now. He's also a believer. Give me Russell Henley, bro. Russell
Oh,
Henley. No one probably expected me to say that name, but I wanna say Russell Henley. Imma say he gets his 2nd victory on the PGA because we need Americans to get more victories as a Ryder
I
Cup year.
know.
We definitely
Yeah,
need more Americans to get victories, bro. So, again, I'm going Russell Henley, Akshay Patia, Tony Finau, and Matt Fitzpatrick, who's the only person who's not American, but I just think he has a good shot of winning.
dude, I think you have all very legitimate picks. I'm gonna pick Xander.
I hope so. I hope so.
I I think he's gonna come around. Hopefully he has a non-conforming driver that they haven't caught yet,
Yeah.
and he starts balling out.
Right. I
Um,
feel like I feel like testing drivers is almost like NFL drug tests. Like, cause it was funny, bro.
yeah.
Anytime you have, like, a dominating game, you always got that note in your locker like, "They're testing me now." I wasn't, like, a big time player, obviously, but I was really good at special teams. I remember after my game against Seattle and my game after Seattle, I had 3 special team tackles. When I go into the locker room,
That's
I
a
got a
lot.
note
Yeah.
for a drug test, yeah, and then one time against Miami in 2019, I had 3 special team tackles and 2 catches. They like, "Yeah, we gotta test this guy." I'm just like, "Bruh, for 3 tackles and 2 special I mean, 3 tackles and 2 catches, you wanna drug test me?" So now it's like, "Man, you're hitting the ball a little too far. Let's check that driver." I think drivers
Yeah.
are equivalent to drug testing in the NFL.
Too far, too straight. That's
Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
illegal.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
um, but yeah, dude. Hopefully Xander doesn't has a non-conforming driver that's not gonna
Yeah,
be tested until later.
right.
Um, but he's a solid player, great with his wedges. So
Yeah,
if he can just get it down there,
right,
that'll help, and it might help him score on par fives.
for sure.
Let's see. Like I don't want to pick Scotty too because that's
Yeah, and
just
then we don't know how his back's doing either.
yeah. But picking Scotty is just annoying now. So
Yeah. Just put an
I don't
asterisk,
really
like,
want
let's
to.
just automatic put a fill-in line there, like, "Okay, yeah, Scotty, now we're gonna
Yeah,
do the rest, guys."
it's just like some of these like betting websites would be like who to win that's not Scotty
Yes.
Bryson or Rory.
Yeah, there you go. I like that, yeah, it's true.
But dude, I think Sam Burns is a legitimate pick. I
I
kind
like
of
it.
think as a sleeper, I feel like I don't know. I feel like he's a legitimate pick. The
Yeah.
other guy, so this watch, I'm gonna pick him and he's
Watch.
gonna miss the cut. Okay, but Ludwig, I
Oh
think
my gosh, bro, yeah.
I
I don't
dude,
think he'll
because
make the
like
cut either.
he's won earlier this year. He's
Yeah.
done well. He did well at the Masters. I don't. He didn't do well. No, he missed the cut at the PGA. But
Yeah, bro, like,
that might
you know,
that
he has
that
a
could
wake-up call.
that could give him a little surge.
Yeah.
So who knows? Like that could be an awesome pick. So Ludwig hits the ball far and straight.
He does. He does.
I
He does.
I got Xander. I think Sam Burns is a legit. I'm gonna use a real pick on him.
Okay, that's
Um,
respectable. Respectable.
um, just because like if you can't hit it far, which he hits it far,
He
he
does.
hits it far enough. Um,
They
like
say
the
he's
putting is
114th
what.
in driving.
Oh wow, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Um, and if your putting can like save you if you make a mistake, that can keep you from going too high.
Yeah.
Especially if
For
you're
sure.
going on these runs, like when you're going on these like birdie, 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 birdie runs, like what can kill it is if you make a bogey.
Yeah.
But if you can make a par, like if you
Same
hit a bad
par.
shot, a bad
Mhm.
drive, you save a par, dude, you're right back in.
Yeah.
You're right back
Agree.
into that zone. So
Yeah.
I think he's a legitimate pick. I might just pick 3, dude, because I
Okay.
picked
That's
3
fair.
sleepers.
Yeah. Oh, you did because you added Victor Hovland in there.
Yeah, I might just pick 3 because I'm not gonna pick Scotty. So
Yeah, that's fine. So we got you with Sam Burns. Um, you said Sam Burns. Who'd you else you say? I'm sorry.
Xander
Xander, my guy
and
Xander.
then Ludwig.
That is a reach.
At least, dude. I mean, it would be cool if he got like a top 10. Like just that's that way. It's like not a win, not a
It'll be
miscut,
a win
or
for
like a
him, bro.
bad
Because like we said,
finish.
yeah, that'll be a win for him. Because like we said, every time he was making cuts, it was like, all right, he finished 52nd.
40th.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
50th. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's not very impressive, sadly.
It isn't, man. But guys, again, we would love to know your thoughts for more. This is a signature event. Don't try to play it like, oh, it's not that important. It's very important. There are a lot of
Yeah,
things that can be gained from winning a signature event, some exemptions in the future, obviously some FedEx Cup points. So a lot of things that can happen. You can bump your Ryder Cup
yeah,
status up possibly.
and
So
yeah,
definitely,
$20
yeah,
million purse.
$20 million. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
Uh,
So each
yeah.
putt could be worth $1 million.
Yeah, I would say too, fun fact, I wish this guy was in the field, but he's not, Andrew Putnam, bro, because when I first met Putnam, when he replied to my DM to be on
Yeah,
Golf and Gospel,
he
which
was on. Yeah.
that episode was so bad, not because of Putnam, because of that camera crew. Um,
Oh no.
he was top 5. He finished top 5 at the Memorial, and Andrew Putnam was a top
Oh,
35 player that year. Now, I'm just saying, Putnam, I know you're gonna watch this, bro. The correlation is when you come on Golf and Gospel, get you back in that top 35, bro. But I was hoping he was in this, bro, because yeah, he played amazing that year. I believe it was
dude.
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I told you this when that episode came out, but he was like the number 1 player in college when I was
Oh,
in high
Pepperdine.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a top guy. And I remember like going to visit Pepperdine and stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, Putnam is
The
gonna be a
guy.
shoe in on the PGA."
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "No," I'm like, "Yeah, dude, he's gonna go in." Yeah,
He's
I
had a
can't
good
remember
career
who else
too.
was there.
He's had a good career,
Yeah,
a long career at the PGA. He has one win, the Barracuda. Hopefully he can squeeze out one more at some point, man.
yeah,
But yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's some other names on here too that just give me one undercard name. Like, let's look at the parents. Give me an undercard. We keep saying undercard guys like compete. Like, Matty Schmid, like he came out of nowhere last week. Alex Noren the week
yeah.
before at the PGA Championship. Undercard guys always kind of sneak in there. So we're gonna count this separate from sleepers, but
Undercard possible picks. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's like, dude. I think you know what? I think Aaron. I was thinking about
I
picking
love Aaron
Aaron
Rye.
Rye,
I love Aaron Rye.
kind of an undercard guy.
Not mad about that one.
Um, let's see. No, not Morikawa would not. He'd be
Morikawa is
a
not an
household
undercard
name.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
I know who I
Brian
want.
Harmon. I don't know.
Brian Warman has a win this year, so it's kind of hard to say he's an undercard
Oh,
guy.
he does.
Yeah, he won the Bolero easily too.
Oh, okay, okay.
Easily. I know
Let's
who I want to
see.
go with. My undercard guy, I'm going with Bud Colley, bro. I love that Bud Colley has not been abusing his medical exemption. He's been fighting hard out there on the PGA Tour, making
Yeah,
cuts,
he's
having some good finishes, man. So I'm gonna
having
really
some
go
good
with Bud
finishes.
Colley.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bud Colley.
yeah. I think like Aaron Rye would be a good pick.
Love it.
Maybe like JJ Spawn.
Hopefully he can get back to TPC form at Sawgrass. You know who
Well,
else has
yeah,
been playing really well? I don't say really well, but, like, his name sneaks in there every once in a while, is Lucas Glover.
yeah, Luke Glover, like he's a
Yeah,
good player.
yeah, Imma stick to what I said with Bud Colley, though, but, yeah, Lucas Glover for sure. He's a good player.
Yeah. Watch, it's gonna be someone else, like some random person.
Some alternate.
Yeah, it'll be like an alternate or I was gonna say Siwoo Kim, but like he just watching him on Sundays is just kind of heartbreaking.
I feel
Sorry,
that.
dude. Yeah,
I feel that. Yeah, I
yeah.
feel
Like
that.
at the RBC, there's like a they were just putting the cameras on him. He was just sitting there, kind of like,
Yeah.
and I felt so bad for him because, dude, I've let go of a lead before too, and it was just it's like the worst. Like,
Well, clearly I did today as well. I was up 1 stroke going in
yeah,
18. I let Denzel Burke. I lost that. I don't even wanna say he beat me. I lost it. 2
yeah, but
penalties, bro.
like
I'm tripping.
I remember I was at the Falcon Amateur here. I shot 67 the first day, and I was
Wow.
tied for first. And then I finished like that was like I think it was like the second time I shot 67. It was I played lights out,
Yeah.
and then like the next day I shot 75, which is like at Falcon Dunes like a little bit of a below average round for me. But
Yeah.
it's just like I was just like, man, this sucks. Like, why was everything working for me yesterday?
Oh, don't get me started.
And like I was telling you, like when JT shoots 61, comes back the next day and shoots 69, it's like does
Yeah.
he feel like 69 was bad? And like
Right.
75 wasn't a bad score for me, but man,
Yeah.
that next day when I shot 75, I was like, this I just why is nothing working out for me like it did yesterday?
Yeah, I feel that, bro.
So
I feel
I
that
feel that
every time.
whenever I see Siwoo Kim, I'm like, oh, that's that same heartbreak that I felt. Like just
Yeah. Yeah. I wanna get our last thoughts here before we close out, bro. What are your hopes for Sahith Theegala? Not having really a great season, had to withdraw 2 weeks ago because of a neck injury. He's in the field. Do you think he has a solid chance to, let's say, call it top 25 maybe? I mean, just looking at who he's up against and stuff, and again, coming off a neck injury, that's not something easy to play with.
yeah, like neck injuries are tough for golf because like when your shoulders rotate, your neck
Yeah.
and your head stays still. There's like neck rotation. You just don't know. You just don't realize that.
Yeah.
But until you have like a neck injury, it's like, oh wow, I can't take a backswing. And if I do, like my head wants to turn with me, and that will
Yeah.
pull you in all different positions that you don't want
Right.
to be in or that you're not
Right.
used to.
Yeah.
So I don't know the extent of his neck injury,
For sure we don't. Yeah.
um, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what his expectations are. I
Uh-huh.
hope he just does well and gets a
Make the
top
cut.
20 finish.
Yeah.
I'm a big Sahith fan because
Same. Same.
he's kind of got a little swagger. He
It
plays
does.
ping, so I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Um, I will say this: I remember one tournament when I was young. I like tweaked my neck when I woke up. It's like when you slept wrong and your neck
For
gets
sure.
stuck. I took some ibuprofen, and I think I won or I got second. I played really well.
Yeah.
So I hope that something like that or better happens to him.
Yeah. Well, guess the key to victory is ibuprofen.
Yeah, well, yeah. Neck injury is the same thing is the new flu game now. So
That's funny. That's hilarious. But again, guys, thank you for watching or listening to this episode of Golf and Gospel Pod. Please again, follow us on Spotify, like, subscribe on YouTube, man, comment, do all this stuff to help out the algorithm, man. I do want to shout out Nate's friends because Nate, your friends do a great job supporting this, bro. My friends have some catching up to do. Except my boy Noah Reed. Noah Reed do be locked in. I appreciate my homie
yeah,
Noah
no,
Reed, but
so
yeah, Noah's awesome, bro. We gotta get Noah on here at some point, bro, so he can give us his Jordan
yeah.
Spieth rant. But again,
Yes,
guys,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, absolutely. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode, and we'll see you next time to break down the next event. Peace.
Peace.